terms of climate change, I think that the data is there, that forests play a major role in conserving carbon dioxide. And of course, when they're cut down, they are releasing carbon dioxide emissions. So they have a major contribution to play to our fight to maintain temperature increases. But I think the real question then is to look at, okay, what do we do to be conserving these forests?
When we started our sustainability program in 2007, we very quickly identified climate as being an area that was important. The reason we know climate is important is because of the work that scientists have been doing for decades and continue to do. And so if you follow the science, one, that tells you how to set your targets. Two, it tells you where the problems are. And deforestation is a major driver of greenhouse gas emissions. And so we aren't going to hit our targets as a business, our science-based targets, and we aren't going to hit our targets as a world if we don't get deforestation under control. You know, we don't direct everything that happens in our supply chain. You know, we aren't making the decision to chop down forests. You know, that's happening further up the supply chain. But we are part of the demand signal that is motivating people to do that. So I think the question comes down to how do we, as pretty far down the value chain, how do we change what we're asking for in a way that removes the incentive for people to clear forests or creates the incentive for people to preserve forests? So I think the trick is how do we change our demand signal to drive a change in the behavior? I think the interesting thing about things like the New York Declaration on Forest is because we're trying to solve a common problem, right? We're trying to solve climate change, we're trying to solve biodiversity loss. Having a common understanding and an agreed definition of the problem is really critical. So if everyone is working on a slightly different problem, the odds that we're actually going to fix it go down. So the more we have things like the New York Declaration on Forests that get people aligned on a direction of travel, the better. I think the other thing that's interesting specifically about the New York Declaration on Forests is it covers a number of fronts. So there's loss of forest, there's restoration, there's other topics, and there are a range of milestones, right? So it's not just, it'll all be okay by some end date. There are some interim milestones. And I think that's an important part of making progress, is having things that are close enough in that you can judge and you know, have a real actionable scorecard while also having a longer term vision. You know, we can't be a successful business in a failing world. No one can, you know, it doesn't work. And so the opportunity is for us to help ourselves by helping everybody else.